Hello there, kia ora. In World War II, Palmerston North was part of what, in hindsight, feels like something that was written for a comedy sketch. As concerns increased about a possible Japanese invasion, which would inevitably target our biggest port locations and population centres, Auckland and Wellington, officials decided that the inland city was actually the best place to hide Te Tiriti or Waitangi. The 100-year-old documents were put into a large travel suitcase and shipped to Palmerston North and stored very carefully in a hallway beside a cabinet at the back of the local public trust office, where they stayed until the war was over. That kind of practical thinking, coupled with a unique optimism and a touch of absurdity, is something that I've found kind of defines Palmerston North. You can see it in the works of some of their most notable locals, like satirist John Clark, the guy who came up with Fred Dagg, and Spanky Jackson, the winner of RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under Season 2, who actually recently sold her prize scepter to fund a community outreach program. And David Seymour, he was born there. Which reminds me, these are my red flags, and I know as a self-confessed lefty that they're not going to be everybody's red flag. So please make sure you do your own research into the candidates and find the ones who share your vision and goals for the future of the place that you call home. And remember, none of that is going to matter if you don't vote. You should have your voting forms with you by now, and if you don't, check out your council website to learn how you can cast a special vote or places that you can return your voting ballots to. With Palmerston North having essentially just three races, a mayoralty, a general ward, and a Māori ward, all of my red flags actually cropped up in the general ward, and honestly, the vast majority of them were the same red flag, the signing of that unworkable taxpayers union pledge, which candidates were harassed about and promised free campaign support for signing by an organisation with mysterious funding models who have direct links in their creation back to political party operatives. But not Vaughan Dennison. He's a member of a group called Palmerston North Residents. This is the local Voices for Freedom originated concerned ratepayer group, but I'll go into that a little bit more soon. Vaughan has liked Advanced New Zealand candidate Ricky Cribb's posts about pandemic conspiracies and often gets tagged in Ricky's posts. He follows Freedom and Rights Coalition, Matt King Northland, Rural AstroTurf Group Groundswell, Billy TK, and Christo Nationalist Group Family First New Zealand. But he did not sign the Taxpayers Union Pledge. Kane Dunlop did. He signed all three of the TPU pledges. So did Hayden Fitzgerald, and he may have actually run for ACT back in 2011, but I can't be 100% certain on that. But he does support the New Zealand First Bill to remove the Ministry of Health ability to decide on water fluoridation. You've got Mark Gunning, signed the TPU pledge. Eric Judd, signed the TPU pledge. Jack Coe, TPU pledge. Karen Naylor, signed the TPU pledge while being a sitting councillor, one of the very few sitting councillors around the entire country to do so, because they're aware that it's not particularly evidence-based and completely impractical to actually put out there. But she is claiming that she'll bring common sense and evidence-based approaches to decision-making while signing the TPU pledge. You've got Dave Popplewell, buried amongst the myriad of dad jokes on his Facebook page, conservative US chain messages and anti-trans posts. You've got Zach Ricano, signed the TPU pledge. Jackie Wheeler. Now, she's the Palmerston North Voices for Freedom coordinator and the person actually originally behind the Palmerston North Residents Facebook group, one of the limited Voices for Freedom linked groups that Dean Harris's concernedratepayers.nz website used to direct people to, and is actually one of the most successful of what we call a Trojan horse approach, where a disinformation-linked group sneaks in on issues that communities feel genuinely aggrieved by and starts to control the means of communication, and therefore the narrative on issues, which allows them to disseminate disinformation connections and beliefs in a covert way. She's claimed that Palmerston North is gearing up for a 15-minute city. That conspiracy belief that cities will end up being locked down communities under mass surveillance. She's worked to bring Julian Batchelor's Stop Co-Governance tour to Palmerston North. Remember that tour that in the South Island had literal neo-Nazis as security? Yeah, she wanted to get that in Palmy. She's made several appearances on Counterspin Media, organised mail-in campaigns to harass teachers at a school where vaccines were being distributed, believes in the myth of the elite Maori taking over the country, shared content from anti-rainbow hate group Let Kids Be Kids. She did sign the TPU pledge, and she supports the New Zealand First Fluoride Bill because, why not? Most Voices for Freedom linked candidates seem to be New Zealand First members these days after all. Then you've got Glenn Williams, who's the local ACT candidate and will be listed as such on your ballot papers. Now, for me, Palmerston North's race has actually been a little frustrating to research. There's one councillor seeking re-election who multiple people have messaged me about, saying that they've seen them post content promoting the ACT Party on a number of topics and Rural AstroTurf Groundswell. But that was scrubbed very early in the election cycle. There was another who sat at a Meet the Candidates event and extolled the virtues of Māori wards and the mahi those councillors do, before declaring that they wouldn't be voting for them for reasons. It also feels like, well, there's a small group of candidates in a large field that are running in terms of contradictions with their own campaigns and their own messaging. And I guess it's another good reminder as to why we all do need to do the research on the candidates that we can vote for. Voting is done by postal ballot with voting forms hopefully already in your hands. Palmerston North City Council uses STV, so you need to rank your preferred candidates, and the future of Māori wards is on the ballot here. You can find more information about your local elections on the Palmerston North Council website, or you can visit my website, paultheotherone.com/LG25 for a whole bunch of other resources. Hey, thanks for sticking around till the end of the video. While you're here, why not hit that like button or share the video or even subscribe to the channel. You could even become a paid YouTube member so you can see things released in advance, you get access to some exclusive content, and like all these awesome people, you get to have your name at the end of the credits as well.